Hey, so what's up, everybody? This is your man, Paul Shakuri, with another door-to-door mastery video. And in this video, we're going to be discussing something you guys may get often. You know that one pocket of turf that seems to be more difficult than others? Well, stay tuned and you're going to want to watch this video because I got answers for you. Okay, so welcome back to the Door-to-Door Mastery Show again. This is your boy, Paul Shakuri. Let me pop in that lower third. Boop, bop, bop. All right, so enough of the geeky stuff. Listen, I got a call today from one of my corporate clients needing to throw me in, coach, and bring up some important information that I thought I wanted to share with you guys as well. And I'm going to dive into a little screen share. But before we do that, I'm going to want you to, first of all, check this out. If you haven't gone to the Door-to-Door Mastery blog yet, over at doortodoormastery.com, take a look at all the content that I have in text format, okay? This is very important for you guys to stay up to date on the blog. When people have been asking me, Paul, what do you mean in your videos when you talk about the free program that you have, the free video series? Well, right here, when you go to doortodoormastery.com, on the right-hand side, enter your information, your name and your email, and you'll actually get my 3 free video series where I take you and walk you through the full process, okay, of how to start, open, and close your actual sale as a door-to-door salesperson. So make sure you do that. And that's going to be, a link is also going to be in the description here on YouTube. So don't forget to hit and smash the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And don't also forget to click on that link in the description so you can get on your way to closing more deals at the doors. So I got this question often, but especially from one of my corporate clients who they threw me in and said, Paul, I need you to speak to this person because they're getting this they're having this big issue in this small little city where they shouldn't be getting it typically. They said, how come, they're not being able to pull some counts out there, out of this city, and they're getting these exact same rejections and rebuttals all the time. I said, okay, well, throw me in and let me see. Let me mute that in case hopefully that's not loud. There we go. Hopefully the audio is a little bit better. It looks like the audio channels are a little high. Maybe I should put in, give me a second. This is going to be live and uncut. So this might take a little bit longer, but let me check to make sure you guys are getting the audio and sounding correctly. Oh, there we go. It actually sounds crystal clear. Okay. So let's just say so what they were saying, sorry, let me go back into it. They were basically saying that this small little pocket, the small little area, they're having difficulty closing deals, and they're getting, now is not a good time, they're not interested, my husband isn't home, and it looks like they're getting these like right away off the bat. It's not like people are even engaging with them a little bit. It's the fact that they're getting hit with it so hard right away. So what's going on here? And this is common, this is typical, that if you find these pockets of areas where you're getting not interested, don't want it, what typically tends to happen and come back is excuses that personally everybody believes in. And in this case, they sell residential and commercial security products and services. They're one of ADT's largest they're their only master dealer in all of Canada. And they basically said and came to me and said this, and let's jump on in, that there's no crime in this city. And they're certain on it that there's no crime in the city, and people are saying it's a really safe neighborhood, nobody wants it. And I said, how do you feel about that? They said, to be quite honest, I mean, I don't blame them. When people don't really have the need for something, I feel like I'm burning the bridges. I said, okay, so in your head, it's so real to you that, 100% this neighbor, oh yeah, absolutely, it's a small town, nothing happens, blah, blah, blah. The first lesson here, folks, is be careful what you tell yourself, okay? Be careful what you tell yourself. And I'm not just one to speak from this mouth without backing it up, okay? So before you jump into a conclusion, and by the way, my audience is pretty badass, so I shouldn't say that, but before you jump into a conclusion, if you are out there and say, oh, wait a second, it's easy to say, back it up, I'm going to show you something that switched this person's perspective literally in about a 30-minute phone call with a conversation that we had. So let's dive into my screen share here and take a look at the reality of pulling up the city and the crime stats in this city. When I pulled it up really quick, I said, first of all, it's a mindset, but take a look at what happened here. So when you plot out this small little city, which by the way, small cities are amazing. If you're ever knocking in these big neighborhoods, no matter what you sell, these big cities, try to go out to smaller neighborhoods and you'll see you actually get a better result. Whether you're selling pest control, home security, whatever it is, try to get outside of the box and actually knock in different areas that you haven't been and see the feedback. What are people telling you? What are people, how are people reacting? So you may look at this and go, oh, Paul, that's crazy. You know, that's just, you know, a bunch of stuff plotted all over. So we dove deeper, and let me actually get you from my other screen here, a screenshot of the place. And I'm also, there's more lessons to be learned here. So I'm going to take this, and this was a screenshot that was just taken not too long ago. So what I would do first of all is I would put that on my phone, and I would not scare people at the doors. I wouldn't scare people and say, oh, look at all this crime, you need security, because that doesn't work. Scaring people is not the answer to getting more sales. And again, if you're doing solar sales, pest control, whatever it is, like, oh, there's all these scorpions and everybody's getting stung and bit. You need to get my products and services. Let me minimize the back now that I showed you that. Look at this. A quick little pull of what I was able to find was 84 properties. And by the way, let me zoom into this so you guys can see this. 84 property crimes over the last 15 effing days in this safe town that they're having issues that they're 100% certain knocking in. And this is a perfect time to come back to this. Really? Sorry about that, but really? Like, do you see how door knocking is a full out emotional game, folks? It's an emotional game. I don't sell residential and commercial security based on fear. I don't sell pest control based on fear. I don't sell solar based on, oh, you need to save a couple bucks. That's not the way you make money in door-to-door sales. The way you're going to actually make money is understanding your products and services, but also understanding what method of sales to use in what neighborhoods. You see, for this given situation, the neighborhood we are talking about is a neighborhood that needs a little bit more assertiveness, aggressiveness on how you communicate with the potential. Every person, and when I broke it down, and I'm debating how much of this I want to get into, but I'm going to go back into this. Every person who ever typically lives in these smaller residential areas, okay, tend to believe the saying that, it's safer in these smaller towns and we don't have as much crime. Now, why do people believe this typically? Why do people believe this? And the answer was solved on this call, this coaching call that they did. The reality is the media doesn't always cover what doesn't make them enough money. You see, the reality is the crime rate in that area is the same as other places where people are knocking that the media has scared the living out of. You got it? Crime's the same. So what's changed in those neighborhoods are people have this fixed belief that it's a safe neighborhood. But the reality is it's not so extremely crazy and safe. So how do we resolve this problem? You see, the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to accept the fact that, and I'm going to dive into this board really quick, and you're going to see this for a second before I actually change it and get you guys the full HD view on it. So give me a second here. Let's go into that, and boom, go back out. So let's dive into the board and get even closer up into the action. Take that out. Make sure that this is over here. Boom, you can hear me. It's all good. Let me grab this. Okay. So what we want to get into in this video is we already understood, and you're going to have to watch this video over and over again, a little bit more to capture the moment. Let me get rid of this shadow that's over here, turn this around and start pointing it this way. This is an important one that I want you guys to really learn and understand. So we're talking about this little given city, right? So this is the city, and now we established that there is crime, right? But people haven't quite heard of it. So how do we overcome this? You see, by understanding what the problem is, you can come up with solutions. So instead of saying this is what people are saying, let's start coming to your mentor, for example, like myself, or let's start coming to logical reasons as to what's happening before we start making all these judgments and saying, this area, this neighborhood sucks, it just doesn't work. Figure out what's going on. And in this case, where people believe that it's safe because of the media and what we talked about, the reality is we need to take another level. These people over here in these neighborhoods, when you knock on the door, okay, you come to their door and you are representing a rep, you are representing a product and or a service that in this case is home security, home automation, for example, and you're talking about crime. Well, what's the first thing that goes through this person's head? First of all, you sound like a door-to-door salesperson. You're in sales, and you're talking about crime. And what's going on? Do you see the problem here? You're talking about crime, and in order for you to get past the fact of you telling them this, they got to believe you and trust you. You're not going to be able to build that belief, that trust. You're not going to be able to move forward in your pitch if they have that, what I always talk about in my MasterD2D.com program, that mental block inside their mind. Of course this person's going to tell me there's crime. He's selling security. Of course this person's going to tell me that energy costs are going up through the roof. Although I've seen gas prices fluctuate, he's selling solar. Of course this person's going to tell me that everybody's dying from scorpion bites and spiders crawling inside the house. But I laid my own pest control and I've had maybe 1 or 2 bugs in the last few months. You need to understand what you're selling and how to actually present it. See, this is what I would do in this circumstance. Hi, how's it going? You the owner of the property here? Oh yeah, absolutely I am. What is it you're doing? Oh, quick question. We actually stopped by not too long ago. As a matter of fact, there were a couple people from some of the other companies as well that were out here. Did they get in contact with you? General pitch, right? What do you mean? Creating some interest, creating some spark. Oh, wait a second. You're doing security? You know what, man? I'm just not interested. Oh, wait a second. You're doing pest control? Dude, we don't need no pest control. We don't, so yeah, no energy. Trust me, man. We're fine with what we got. That's perfect. Okay. What I always teach, step number 1, rebuttals. Okay. They're going to give you those rebuttals. What's the first thing you do when they give you the rebuttals? And this is part of the sales process. You guys have to start depending upon yourselves to believe that you're going to become a closing machine. And in an ethical way. Did you hear me? Ethical way. It's very important because a lot of times, and I get it, I get homeowners who watch this channel who are hawking it like flies only to critique it. There's nothing wrong. Sales is sales. You bought a car. You've purchased a house from a realtor. Sales is sales. There's a process. Everything you do and have purchased inside your house, there was some sort of sale that was involved. You see, you're going to have some rebuttals. And even myself, I've noticed I've given people rebuttals only to stop and say, hey, wait a second. I subconsciously gave this rebuttal to this person because I just didn't want to do business with that person for some sort of reason. Then they switched me around, built the trust, and was able to come in and get the sale. That's fine. There's nothing wrong. You're not doing anything wrong with this. But there's an actual rebuttal. What's the first thing you do? You agree. And then do what? You move forward. Hey, first of all, I totally agree with you. There has been a lot of people out here. And as a matter of fact, those people who are selling security, it's quite an expensive cost. Here's what I'm about to unleash to you that's inside my door-to-door mastery program. And by the way, I'm going to give you a little tidbit that's inside of it. And at that point, you decide whether or not you want to grab the whole package. Well, I show you and teach you how to get inside that person's mind in my program and actually bring out what it is that they're stopping, what's stopping them from allowing you to speak more. Okay? See, the reality is that block over here has to be overcome. And every single time you hit that wall and you continue to hit that wall, there's no point going into the details of what your products and services do, because the conscious mind of the potential customer who you're talking to is not absorbing words that are coming out of your mouth. So you gotta somehow find a way to say, to build up this self-esteem, to say, oh, I totally get it. You need to buy time. Okay, you need to buy time to let them know that your time is limited, so that 3, they can alleviate, and I can't alleviate, my spelling's terrible, alleviate the pressure of you being a salesperson. And how do we do this? And I'm going to give you an example. So number 1, they're just rejecting you. You agree. Oh, I totally understand and I completely get what you're saying. I need to buy time. So I just want to let you know, by the way, that what you just mentioned is absolutely true. And as a matter of fact, I'm very busy. Okay, I actually have to head up to Brenda, or I have to head up to the neighbors up the street. I actually have other people to talk to, so I don't have time to waste right now here at this door. You don't say that, but this is where I'm getting with. Okay, I'm going to leak some of this information out. I don't have much time to spend right now here at the doors anyways. What is that doing? It's alleviating the pressure back from that mental block that they're going like this with, so they can slowly bring it down. And now you can start verbally communicating what? Exactly what your message is and why people buy what you have to sell. If that didn't make sense, you're going to have to watch this video over and over and over again. And by the way, if you got questions, email me, pshak@doortodoormastery.com. That's pshak@doortodoormastery.com. And let me know exactly what you're struggling with. This has been a video that has a lot of detailed information in it. If you watch it over and over again, it's going to make more sense. If you ask questions, you're going to slowly figure out what you're not doing that you need to do. And remember, at the end of the day, if you're going to beat yourself up and self-sabotage yourself and start believing the crap that people and yourself get told every single day, and by the way, I even heard from this person that his competition, folks, his competition told him this area is bad. When was the last time my competition ever told me what I should be doing that would actually help me generate more sales? That was the first trigger for me to go, and by the way, this is a big competition. In my head, I was going, wait a second, your competition told you that. That should be the number one sign that this just found the gravy turf. And this is the reason why they like it. Because top-leveled athletes of door knockers, top-level door-to-door athletes like myself, when I go out there, I eat these neighborhoods up. Because the majority of people, they go to neighborhoods where that low-hanging fruit is. But this, once you learn how to overcome this with my MasterD2D.com program, which will teach you, and by the way, you can figure this out on your own. You just got to learn how to battle through it and understand what's going on and break down the details of this and watch those things over and over and over again and implement over and over again. Or it can cut down to time literally in months, if not years, by going through what I've went through and have taught thousands, over 10,000 people on a day-to-day basis consistently. The question's up to you. How bad do you want to close more deals? And if you want to, don't forget, click that link in the description, grab that free program, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that little bell button. So every time I make another one of these videos, bam, you can get the videos directly to your inbox. Thank you so much. It's been another Door-to-Door Mastery video. As we always end it, peace. I'm out. Boom.